Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hi. Hi, Bilmajit. Hello, everyone. Roberto from Washington. Hello. Lolly, Gertie, Cody, Miriam, Pillar. Awesome. Hi, guys. Nice to see you all. Hello, Sergi. I'm very happy today because it's finally sunny in Vancouver. It has been raining for over a week straight, I feel like. So to finally have some sun is very exciting. Hi, everyone. So nice to see you in the chat. We're going to get started on stream number 24. Shout out to the partners in Mexico at CCPM and UTS. Oh, is it rainy in Ottawa? Oh, that's too bad. It must be a little bit cold there as well. Hi, Rita. Hello in Warsaw. Good, yes, afternoon here, nighttime there. Okay, Imad, hello. Good. Well, how are you guys? I feel like it's been a long time, but it's only been 1 week. I hope everyone is doing well and everyone's happy, and even if you have bad weather, I hope everything's going well for you these days. So today for stream 24, we're going to be with each other as always 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and I'm going to be focusing this week on the first conditional, okay? Next week we're going to focus on the second conditional. So at this level, those are the two conditionals that I'll be talking about. Everything is great. Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah. Hello, Noir. Nice to see some familiar names and some new names. So if you are new in the chat, welcome. And yeah. Yes, I had a really good Thanksgiving. Thanks for asking, Lolly. I think, yeah, I talked to you guys one day after last week, right? But yes, thank you. It was so good. Lots of eating, good friends, good food. Very good. All right. Well, such a multicultural chat. I'm going to change over the screen. And here we are. Yeah, so like I said, today let's talk about first conditional and time clauses. Very useful to practice this language point, as we native speakers use it all the time. Munira, yeah, Josh, the new streamer, my friend Josh, he teaches the 115 level, so yeah, there is a little bit of overlap with some of the same grammar topics, but hopefully you're enjoying that stream too. That's right, Gertie, real possibilities. That's right. Real possibilities, everyday language, and we'll talk about a few specific type of uses that we use it for. But let's get started. Are you guys ready? And feel free to give all of the wonderful examples that you usually give. And as always, I will put the document into the chat when we are finished, okay? So let's get started. As we can see here, we've got our first conditional sentence. If it snows tonight, school will be canceled tomorrow, okay? So whoever is saying this sentence, they must be living in an area where it commonly snows and school is commonly shut down on a snow day, okay? When I was growing up, I often got snow days in the wintertime growing up in Ontario, so it's a very real possibility, depending where you are, okay? And that's a great sentence, Lolly. If I study hard, I'll speak English fluently soon, right? Because you're already speaking English, so maybe just using that adverb, fluently. All right. So let me continue on down. So first of all, you need to make sure that you are, like we just said, speaking about real situations, okay? So real or unreal. You know, in English, there are different ways that we create sentences with the word if. So with first conditional, if and present simple, you do need to make sure that you are describing a possible situation, okay? And look at some examples of real possibilities. Next one here. You should stay home if you are sick. All right, so of course, we're not using will here. We're using the modal verb should, and that's fine. We can modify that clause a little bit. This is just moving more into, instead of result, advice, right? Noir, well, you know, even if you are comfortable with the topic, it's still good to, you know, practice your listening and just perfect what you already know. Can't harm, can't hurt, right? Let's see here. Next, we will have a great time if you join us, okay? So we've got our will clause that is contracted and our if clause coming second, okay? So what we're going to focus more on next week is unreal or imaginary situations. So I won't spend too much time on that, but basically this is what we call the second conditional. And yeah, for unreal situations or just highly unlikely situations. Hello, Hamza and Nazim, welcome. Saeed, yes, because it does not cancel itself. So we do say school will be canceled, like the passive form. Okay? You could also say, if it snows tomorrow, the principal will cancel school, the active form. Okay? Ali, hello. Yes, that's good. That's good. Good goal. You know, so here are some examples of second conditional. You would understand if you spoke my language. So we're using the past simple with the modal would instead of will. This means that the person can't speak their language, okay? I could help you if I had time, using the modal could for ability and past simple. This means that the person did not have time. I would be sleepy if I didn't drink coffee in the morning. Okay, so again, this means that you do drink coffee, so you're not sleeping. Hello, Long and Nadia. Hi. I missed you too. Welcome back. All right, so we're going to focus on second conditional next week. This week, let's stay on track and talk about first conditional. Okay, so, you know, in English we have zero conditional, which is like facts, which is present simple, present simple. We have first conditional, real possibilities. We have second conditional, unreal, and, you know, very unlikely, unreal situations. We have third conditional, and we have mixed conditionals, okay? So in this level, we're going to talk about first and second. So Noir, I don't really know exactly how that works. I think it's more of a school district decision. But yeah, I'm not positive on that. All right, guys, so first conditional. Again, I'm going to repeat myself a lot, but it is to describe real possibilities, okay? We use this type of sentence a lot, all right? And the form is if with present simple and will and a base verb. And again, when it comes to the word will, sometimes it can be replaced with can or should or may or might, you know, okay? So look at some examples. If we have time, we will stop in Seattle. Okay, so maybe there are some people, they're going on a road trip, and of course, you know, they're discussing real possibilities. Here, in a classroom context, we can have a negative if clause, and remember, it's present simple. So to make a present simple sentence negative, you have to use don't or doesn't, depending on the subject. In this case, you, so don't. If you don't understand, you will have problems tomorrow, okay? You'll contract it. And another 2 examples. If she doesn't study, she won't make much improvement, okay? And another one, if I do that, he will get angry. Nadia, I'm sorry, but it's not in my schedule actually to go over the mixed conditionals, but there are a lot of videos on that topic that you can find. Yeah. And Saeed, that's a good point. But to be honest, I don't control the titles of my lessons or anything like that. I just come, I do my teaching, and that's about it for me. So that's a suggestion that I can give. I can give the other people who work on Smrt, I can give them that suggestion, no problem. All right, so let's go to my document, which you will get at the end of the topic, and take a look. Okay. So, just a quick review again. First conditional is made up of 2 clauses, right? We've got what I like to call our if clause, okay, which is in the present simple. And this is like the condition. And then we also have our will clause, all right? And this is will and a base verb. Remember, after a modal verb, you always use base verb, okay? No S, no D, no ing, just base verb. And this is the result, okay? So conditionals, right? We have an if, and this is our condition, and we have our will, it's our result, okay? If I go to bed early, I will be refreshed in the morning. If we leave on time, our mom will be happy, okay? So if, will. And to describe real possible situations. In everyday life, we use this grammar point a lot. So some example sentences, and I'm seeing some in the chat, which I will put on our document. If you have time, will you leave for Hawaii? Good, question form, Gina, awesome. If you have time, comma, will you, maybe we would say go to Hawaii instead of leave for Hawaii, okay? If you have time, will you go to Hawaii? Good. So don't forget to do inversion, will before subject, if it is a question. Awesome. And let's see, Gertie, good. If I decide to go to Vancouver, again, comma, I'll arrange my work schedule. And maybe you can add a fancy word here, accordingly. Okay, I'll arrange my work schedule accordingly. This just means according to my trip. Okay, and Rita, I see another good example. If I eat well, I will get a vital body. I don't know if vital is the best adjective. Perhaps if I eat well, I will get a I don't know if I would use the word vital in that sentence. Can anyone? Maybe it's not wrong. It's not wrong to say that, but you could say I will have a body full of energy. That kind of sounds weird too, but yeah, if I eat well, I will have a healthy body. If I eat well, I will be energetic, you could also say. I will, I forgot will. I will be more energetic, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah, There are many options. If I eat well, I will be healthy. If I eat well, I will have a nice body. If I eat well, I will be healthier. Good, Pedro. So Maya, if you go to bed late again, you will not be able to get up in time tomorrow. Great sentence, Maya. Awesome. Noir, if I stop learning English, I will miss the chance to get a better job. Good, good. That's a good sentence. And Nadia, if you visit me, I will be happy. Nice, good sentence. Gertie, good answer for the second part. Okay, R1, good to have the confidence. Lolly, if I go to bed early, I will be alert tomorrow. Awesome. That's a good sentence. Saeed, that's true. Balance, right? Diet and exercise. All right, next. So, if it warms tomorrow, good. So, Pillar, if it warms up, we say. If it warms up tomorrow, comma, we will go to the beach. Perfect. Aaron, if I have a vacation, I will return to work with renewed vigor. Wow, nice sentence. If I go on a vacation, we could say, okay? If I go on a vacation, comma, I will return to work. I will return to work with renewed vigor. Nice. That's a very painted and nice sentence. Noir, if I visit Canada, I will be in heaven. Good, good. All right, let's just ignore there are a couple people in the chat who are not really participating, but we can just ignore them. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of good examples, and you are all starting with the if clause, which is great. That's fine. Michaeli, we're talking about first conditional, actually. First conditional. All right, so I'm going to go back to my document, and let's talk about a comma rule, okay? So there is a rule when it comes to using commas and proper punctuation. So just one moment, you guys. Remove. Okay. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm gonna get rid of that guy. There we go. All right, sorry about that little pause. We only want positivity on this chat, right? Okay, so comma rule. When we begin our sentence with the if clause, you need to use the comma to separate the two clauses in the sentence, okay? If you begin your sentence with the result clause, the will clause, then you do not need to use a comma, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the difference. All right, if you do that again, I will take away your toys. So we're starting with our condition, our if clause. Therefore, we're using a comma. And we have our result here. I will take away your toys. Next one, if I don't eat soon, comma, because I'm starting with the condition, result, I'll be angry. Good. Some people say hangry. And the last two examples, you can see that we are starting with the will clause, so there's no need to use a comma. She will laugh if you tell her the joke. Good. So we're starting with our result here. We won't study that if you don't want to. All right, so let's go back and let me just check the chat here. Yasir, it started at 3 o'clock. Okay, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Okay, so let's go back to the document and do an example with both, okay? Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Perfect. There we go. A little bit bigger. Okay, so comma. If we're starting with if, let me see. Yeah, we'll do Gertie. Gertie, you have a good one. There will be consequences if you do that again. Perfect. Okay, so if I'm going to start with the if clause, we're going to use a comma. If you do that again, oops, comma, there will be consequences. Perfect. Yes, Kamal, you should come by. It's in a great location, right downtown Vancouver, right by all the fancy stores. Saeed, I'll go to the beach if it doesn't rain. Good. All right, so that's basically it. With the comma rule, we won't spend too much time on that because I think everyone's good with that. If you start with your if clause, you're going to use a comma. If you don't start with your if clause, you do not need a comma, okay? So let's go through some common uses of first conditional, some common everyday uses of first conditional. So I've written 3 kind of bullet points here when we usually use, first conditional. So if you want to make promises to someone, and like an offer or deal, then we often use first conditional. Okay, so let's get into that and make some examples. Pedro, the if makes it a dependent clause. So yeah, the sentence structure of these sentences, it's called a complex sentence. The if clause is a dependent clause, so it must be attached to the will clause, which is an independent clause. Okay. So basically with complex sentences, if you start your sentence with the dependent clause, you have to use a comma. It's not just if, but words with like when or as soon as or while or after, before. You have to use a comma if you start with the dependent clause. Okay? So let's see here. Common uses, making promises. Yes, complex sentence. So Maya, if you say to someone, if you don't stop shouting at me, we'll fall out. So yeah, this can be an example of, giving a warning. So that's an example of giving a warning. If you don't stop shouting at me, comma, but I think you mean have a fallout. We'll have a fallout. That kind of just means like we'll stop being friends. Some people call it we'll have a falling out. Yeah. So what about making a promise with people? So Saeed, I promise if you give it to me, I'll give it back to you. Yeah, and yeah, you can say I promise. You don't have to, and you can even say it at the end. If you give that to me, maybe we say it here. I promise I will give it back to you. I promise I'll give it back to you. Okay? Or if you give that to me, I'll give it back to you. I promise. Yeah. Okay, so you don't need to have this here actually. But. Okay, so yeah, I swear is exactly like saying I promise. Good. So Michaeli, good. So you're making a promise, or that's kind of like a deal. Where was that? If you can keep this, yeah, that's good. If you can keep it between us, comma, I will tell you everything. Perfect. Mr. David, if I were you, I wouldn't use that example. Good. Yeah, that's kind of like it's like advice, but that's second conditional, so I'm not going to put it in my first conditional examples. Yeah. Yes, sir, I will buy you a new computer if you study hard. Good. That's kind of like making a promise, an offer, a deal. If you study hard. Oh, you used your will clause first. That's good. I will buy you a new computer, no comma, if you study hard. Okay. So let's see. Gertie, that's a good sentence. If you give me a good deal, I will buy your car. Good. Awesome. Good. So we've got, making promises, offers, or deals with people is a common way to use first conditional. Even like, with your roommate. If you clean the bathroom this week, comma, I will clean the kitchen, for example. Making like a deal with your roommate. So Nadia, if you give me that. Yeah, or maybe more common to say, if you give that to me. If you give that to me, I will be happy. Okay, Rita, if you do your homework, I will offer you a present. Yeah, for children, exactly. Parents often use first conditional. And that's kind of giving us, making, that would be for, making a deal, but parents often discipline their kids or, use the first conditional as a way for threatening their kids. Like, oh, if you do that, I will take away your video games or something like that. Good, Nawar. If you lend me the money I need, comma, I will never forget it. Is what you would say. Yeah. If you lend me the money I need, I will never forget it, or I will remember it forever. Yeah. Hello, Asadullah. You're new here. Welcome. We're talking about the first conditional and some different uses of it. Okay. So, well, Asadullah, that's up to you to decide. If you are wanting to practice with the first conditional, it might be good. Okay. But your choice, of course. Mr. David, that's fair. That's a good point. Feel free to click somewhere else. It's all good. Javier, if you are free today, we will go to the church as soon as we can. Good. Yeah. If you... I'm not sure, Pedro, if I know exactly what your example is. If you go in there, I'll never talk to you, Saeed. Good, that's like a warning. If you go in there, I will never talk to you again, maybe you could add. Gina, the meaning of a fallout is kind of when your relationship kind of ends with somebody. Like when you stop hanging out with someone. When basically a relationship just ends for some reason. A fallout. Yeah. All right. So, maybe like if we're talking about parents with children, for example, if you don't clean your room, comma, we won't let you go to your friend's house, for example. All right. Good one, Nawar. Yeah, if you come home late, I will punish you. Exactly. Pillar, where's yours? I'm trying to find it. If you tell me the truth, you won't have any consequences. Yeah. Instead of it, you would say you. If you tell me the truth, you won't have any consequences. Or like, if you tell me the truth, you won't be punished. Okay? All right. Yeah, Komal, maybe punish is not the right word for that because, well, at least, teachers don't usually punish their students. That's more of a parent to their children type of word, but maybe it could be used, but like maybe just no, not like that, Mr. David. Losing recess privileges or having to do extra work or something like that. But discipline could be the word. All right, let's move on. And the third context where we might use first conditional would be when we're talking about Murphy's Law. Okay, so Murphy's Law is basically an international law that states whatever can go wrong will go wrong. All right, so can you guys think of, I'll give you an example of Murphy's Law and see if you can think of any more of your own examples, okay? So for example, if you dial the wrong number, comma, someone will always pick up. Like if you dial the wrong number, someone will always pick up. But if you try to call your friend, they will never pick up, that kind of thing. If you get the right number, you won't get an answer. But if you dial the wrong number, someone will always pick up, someone who you don't really need to talk to, right? Murphy's Law, Lolly, it's kind of just like a saying. You can Google it if you want some more information about it. But yeah, it's basically just saying whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So another example could be if you leave the house without your umbrella, it will start raining. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a little ironic. Saeed, good. If you light a cigarette, comma, the bus will come. Exactly. So maybe you guys can try and finish this sentence. If you leave the house in your pajamas, what could be the result? You guys think of it. Gertie, exactly. One of the most common examples of Murphy's Law. Yeah, I'll put that one down. If you drop your buttered toast on the ground, for example, it will always fall butter side down. That's a funny one. Saeed, exactly. If you leave the house in your pajamas, you will see your boss, or you will see someone important. Exactly. And another one, Aaron, if I go for a walk after rain, I will always step into a puddle. Exactly. Rita, that's more of just a regular first conditional of a condition and a result. Murphy's Law is more of an ironic, something is going wrong. For example, if you buy a new phone because you can't find yours, comma, your old phone will turn up the next day. Turn up means you will find it. You will find your old phone the next day. If it rains, it pours. Exactly. Exactly. All right, good. So yeah, those are kind of 3 different common uses of everyday first conditional. I'm going to go back to Smrt here. And let's talk about time clauses next, okay? So, no problem, Gertie. Yeah, time clauses are basically conditions of time, and it uses the same form as first conditional. So, for example, instead of if, we use time expressions. Nawar, yeah, it can be pretty comical, Murphy's Law, for sure. But yes, time conditions. So instead of if, you can use time expressions. Words like when, or as soon as, until, before, after, okay? And just like first conditional sentences, we're going to use present simple in the condition clause, and we'll use will, the base verb, in the other clause, okay? So here, I will eat breakfast before I take a shower. All right, so the condition is a time. Before I take a shower, comma, I will eat breakfast. The comma rule is the same. Hello, Deliguita. Asaladula, yeah, if we don't have internet, comma, we can't join Julia's stream. Mm-hmm. Pedro, what do you mean exactly by that? Deliguita, welcome. We have about 24 minutes left of the stream, and we are talking about first conditional and time clauses. Here's another one. Until you apologize, I will not speak to you. Okay, so a condition based on time. Until you apologize. And another one. When I go to the game, comma, I will buy a hot dog. So a time condition. Okay. So again, notice when we start sentences with time expressions, we separate the two parts with a comma. And again, it is like a complex sentence structure. And let's go back over to my document, and we'll get some examples. So, unless can be used, Lolly, that's true. Like, unless you, until you apologize, I won't speak to you. Until you apologize, I won't speak to you. So they can both be used. Yeah. Okay. And yes, Saeed, these are conditions of time. So who can think of some examples with when, or as soon as, until, or after? We'll put some more examples. Nawar, good. So you've got before, using before. I will learn English before I travel to Canada. Okay, we just want to repeat our subject and verb again. Okay, to make it a complex sentence structure. And good, Gina. Let's put your example here. As soon as you get home, comma, you should call your mom. Perfect. And Ashu, wow, very, very early for you in India. Batuhan, that's a good sentence, but it's not really a first conditional sentence. You're just using ASAP as an expression. As soon as possible, ASAP. Good, so we're going to do that with when. When I find a job, we are going to say with a good salary, comma, I will buy a new house. Good. Komal, good, good, good. Starting with your result. Awesome. I will get some stationery when I go home. Awesome. Good, Gertie. So when I arrive, we're going to say in Montreal. When I arrive in Montreal, comma, I will visit you. Whoa, visit. Yes, but then it's just kind of like one simple sentence. You can. It's after the preposition, you can use gerund, but then your sentence would be just one simple sentence, not with two different clauses. Let's see, Maya, I will come over to you as long as I am not swamped. Good, good. As long as, so I'll add that one over here. Or I can, it can be, yeah, as long as, or unless. As long as I will come over to, we don't really say I will come over to you. You could say I will come over to your house as long as I'm not swamped. And that's a good good vocabulary. Swamped, if you guys are not sure, means like really, really busy with lots of things to do, especially with work. Okay. Ashu, wait here until I come. Yeah, that's good, but that's more of like a demand, yeah. You could use should. You should wait here until I come. Good, Pillar. If I don't go to bed soon, I will feel tired tomorrow. Good. Lolly, I will give you something as soon as I see you. Good. I'll add your example. Okay. After you come back from vacation, don't forget comma, Saeed, we will talk. Good, so I'll put your example in with after. After you come back from vacation, comma, we'll speak. Good. I watch your classes as soon as I come home. Nice. Good, Fatai. Until I finish my English classes, I will study at university. Good. As soon as my breakfast is over, I will leave. Good, Kamal. Hello from in Sudan. Hello, welcome. Good, Nawar. That's a good example. I'm sure you will either way, but thank you. So yeah, until. Maybe what could we say with until? Oops, I want to keep my same format. Okay, until. Aaron, until you. Okay, so you want to do a positive clause though. Until you do your homework, comma, you won't be allowed to watch TV. Good. Kind of like, again, one of those, threats maybe from parent to child. Yeah. If you arrive after midnight, you should call me. Good, Pillar. That's good. It's using a regular if clause. Right now, let's try to use some of these time clause words, right? Maybe before. Yeah, Gina, that's a good expression. Fake it until you make it. Exactly. Fat Chai, that's a good one with until. Awesome. Until I pass the test, comma, I won't have much free time. Right on. So be careful, guys, with until, because you're going to use a positive phrase with the present simple. Until you decide to get better, comma, you won't. Or you could modify this a little bit. Until you decide that you want to get better, you won't. Again, positive. Until I understand this lesson, comma, I won't leave. Okay? Until you complete your work, you will not go outside. Good. So again, Nawar, you should now, you're using a positive phrase until you complete your work. Sorry, sorry, I'm messing up the examples. You should say, I will not go shopping. I will not go shopping until I finish my work. Okay, so it's kind of like opposite. If you're going to have a negative will clause, then your until clause will be positive. If you have, no, wait a second. Until you decide that you want to get better, you won't. Until I pass the test, I won't have much free time. I won't go shopping until I finish my work. Sorry. Perfect. You just forgot not, that's all. Yeah. Until you do not decide. So it's not really a tip because you need to make your, this is kind of like it's not a rule, that's for sure. It's just a common occurrence, okay? So, you know, for example, she won't leave until we get there. We can't use until we don't get there, okay? Yeah, exactly, Nawar. Or after, let's do some with after. So Delegita, you could say, until I study hard, comma, I will not improve. Good, Fatay. I will take a bath after I am done with or in my garden. Perfect. Yeah, Gertie, so it's not a rule, but when we use until, the clause is most often in a positive sentence, and the will clause is negative. Okay. So Nadia, yeah, you can, your sentence is fine. You can make it a first conditional sentence by saying, if you put too much stuff into your plastic bag, it will break. Okay. If you put too much stuff into your plastic bag, it will break. Good, Waim. I will not visit my home country until I get a citizenship. Yeah, will clause is negative, until clause is positive. Batuan, after you I am definitely not going to remember that. Yeah, it's kind of difficult when your sentences have like indefinite words like that or it. I will speak English fluently after putting in many hours. Good. Yeah. After putting in many hours. Perfect. Gina, until you have students study English, the teacher will help students understand the questions. Yeah, and until you have students who studied English, the teacher will help the students understand the questions. Yeah. Lolly, my parents won't allow me to meet my friend until I clean up my room. Good. Gertie, after I finish my chores with a CH, chores, I will hang out with my friends. Perfect. I'll add that one too. What are chores? After I finish Oops, my chores. I will hang out with my friends. Chores are household duties. Okay, if you're wondering, like cleaning the dishes, taking out the garbage, cleaning the bathroom, that kind of thing. Nice, Batuhan. That's awesome. Good for you. That would be fun. All right, guys, so we have a little bit more time. I think we have a lot of good examples. Maybe another with before. Before our parents get home, comma, we should clean up the house, for example. Yeah, tedious tasks. That's right, Lolly. Tasks that most people don't like. So yeah, Pedro, if you do omit the if or time clause, then it's just simply a sentence using will, and we do that for talking in the moment about the future. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Smrt here for a moment, and we're going to take a look at a couple exercises, but I'm going to go down. And we're going to choose the correct connector for these sentences, okay? So can everyone see this? Oops, I have to keep it kind of this. Fatai, before you are ready to pay at the cashier, at the cash register, we say, you should have your card available. Good sentence. Kamal, I should sleep well before the beginning of my exam. Good. Wahim, good. After I finish my homework, I will visit my friends. Awesome. Good. So let's take a look at these sentences, and I'll show you the options. You're going to have more than one option. You have to choose the correct connector. Okay, so taking a look here, the choice between when or before, and here's the sentence. They come to class, they will probably get some coffee, so this means before they come to class, right? So what do you guys think about this sentence? Buses will stop running. Should we say if, or should we say until it drops below freezing? Aaron's saying if. Do you guys agree with that? If. Pedro thinks both. If you have really powerful cold weather buses, maybe it could be both. But if is the correct answer. So Saeed, before with will, it's just kind of like before something happens, something else will happen. Like, for example, we will clean the house before our parents get home. Or she will take the dog out before you get here. Okay, something that you will do before something else happens. Okay, so what about this one? We should stay inside before or until the lightning stops. I'm seeing until. Good. So here again, as you can see, guys, you don't have to have a negative clause with until. Who let the dogs out? Yeah, that's right. That is a funny song. I don't want to be buried. If or when? You could say that, Saeed, too. When? Yeah. Maybe in the future we will be invincible, but We will all die at some point. Hopefully not for a very long time. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Who knows in the future? Exactly, Gertie. But hopefully not for a very long time. What about this one? My friend Ensar is going to stay at my house until his parents come back to the country. Good sentence, Batuhan. You could say, Saeed, our parents will get there after we clean up the house, but it depends on what you're saying. If you're talking about what you should do, we should clean up the house before our parents get home. That means that we should do the action before the parents get home. Sorry, we're not using a will clause, we're using should clause. We should clean up before our parents get home is the present simple clause. And before we run out of soap, we should buy some more. Exactly. If you made this until, then we should make this negative, right? Until we run out of soap, we shouldn't buy some more. So, you know, you can use until, but you would make this clause negative. Until we run out of soap, we shouldn't buy any more. Okay, any would be the word here, not some. But in this sentence, it's before. Next one. What do you think here? We will stay home if. Yeah. Because here we're using the verb stay, so that means that you have never left the house. Okay? You could change this verb to go, and then it would be fine to use after. We will go home after it gets miserable outside. But with the verb stay, we should use if. Okay? The verb stay would require if. Next one. My skin turns red. What do you think? When or after I drink alcohol? When? When? After? Both is right, Maya? Yeah, could be both. I agree. So it depends on the person. Some people's skin turns red when, some people skin turns red after. So really, could be both. I'll choose when just because, but could be both. Yeah. G. What do you guys think about G? Yeah, and Saeed, I think I understand what you're saying in the chat, but I did not use will, I think, in my example. I used should, right? Yeah, I used should. So this is our present simple, should. And base verb, clean up. What do you guys think about this? While your English improves, you should stay in this class, or until? Until? Both maybe, Pillar? Yeah, I would agree that it could be both, you know, like, because it's an ongoing thing, the improving. So it could be both. I'll choose until, but, you know, could be both. H. I will plug my cell phone in. What do you guys think? when I go to bed tonight or after I go to bed tonight? Fatatam, when? After, when? Okay, so again, it kind of depends where the plug is, but I would choose when, okay? No problem, Batuhan, my pleasure. Yeah, so it really depends. If you have a plug right beside your bed, you can plug your phone in after you go to bed. But if your plug is not close to your bed, then you would use when. I'll plug my cell phone in when I go to bed tonight. Or I'll plug my cell phone in before I go to bed tonight. Okay? That could be the case as well. So we'll do one more and then that will be it for today. What do you guys think here? It's so late. The movie will sell out. You arrive at the theater. Awesome. Exactly. Before. Good. All right. Before. Saeed, I need to improve my English. Then I will go to Canada. Before I go to Canada, I need to improve my English. You know, you can say I need to improve my English before I go to Canada. And instead of using will, you're using the verb need to. Okay, so you can change. You don't have to 100% of the time use will in your result clause. Okay, you can use other words like need to. But yes, Batuhan, goodbye. Fatatam, goodbye. Thank you, everyone. We will be continuing on this topic next week. Okay, we can do a little refresh on the first conditional, and we're going to talk a lot about the second conditional, which is a fun tense a fun language point because there are no limits. It's imagination. So I'm going to put the document with all of your great examples in the chat. You can see the document there in a few minutes here. And yeah, thanks for joining. It was fun. And catch you next week, okay? Next Tuesday, be here from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And check in with Josh on Thursday, okay? You can enjoy his stream on Thursday if you'd like to, okay? Have a great day, you guys. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Take care.